Hello. Yeah, so this for this weekend we only actually got one really good fight, and that's the only one I will be talking about, trying to predict for this upcoming weekend, and that of course is Alexander Povetkin versus Whyte. Yeah, so this fight was supposed to happen in November, I believe, and was postponed. I don't remember for what reason. But anyway, maybe an injury or something. So finally, now Whyte has a chance to get a revenge for that really dramatic and devastating loss to Povetkin. Yeah. So what can I say? Well, what can we expect this time? Since the last time they fought, it was what happened was that, of course, Povetkin looked like he was on his way out of the fight, and then he produced this amazing punch. You know, the kind that you land once or twice in your whole career, maybe, not too many times anyway. So, and you know that the only other time the White was stopped, it was not from one punch, but he was down several times, so or twice anyway from against Joshua. So yeah, that says something about the force of that punch. But of course, it is different when shorter guys hit you. When somebody who is shorter than you hits you, and somebody who is taller than you, there's a difference, definitely. I believe actually the power is the force of the punch that can be produced, especially from an uppercut, is really amazing. But especially if it comes from a guy who is actually not taller than you. Uh, because when you hit on a downward trajectory, then you get a different kind of effect. It can still be powerful, of course, but I think this one that comes from downward is actually the harder one than the one from upwards. So anyway, so Povetkin he pulled that off like really really unexpectedly, and so that's why the chances of him doing that again are not so big. I guess. And of course, this time White will be looking out for punches like that. So, yeah, but of course, I imagine he is hell bent on revenge. So, also, uh, yeah, I mean, this is a fight that White really needs to win. To in order to finally be able to get a world title shot against either Joshua or Fury. So um, yeah, depends who wins, I guess. Well, anyway, Povetkin is of course on his way out, so he's 41 now, actually. And as I said, the chance of him, he's still a very tough guy, but in the last fight he was down twice, and he showed that he really isn't simply uh, on the same level as he used to be. So that's why just the fact that he needed that miracle punch against someone like White is a showing that he really isn't what he used to be. Because a prime Povetkin would have not needed something like that to win, definitely. No matter how good you may think Whyte is, I mean, he's a good fighter, definitely, who belongs with the best, but he's not, among the very best, I would say. So that's the maybe it would be better for him, instead of chasing the very best, to concentrate on guys that are, just below that, or though that would be guys, for instance, like, well, in UK, you got Joe Joyce, for instance. Then you have Filip Pergovic. You have Tony Yoka. And a few others. Efe Ajagba. But Ajagba might be a little too dangerous also for him. But he's still relatively untested. So there are a few others, of course. Hellenius now is again a viable candidate, I guess, even though he's getting on in age too. Anyway, what I think of the fight, what may happen most likely is simply that I think White will do a little bit more boxing this time than the last time. Will be a little bit less aggressive from the start. Maybe I'm not sure, but maybe. As I said, he will be hell bent on revenge and will be trying to get Povetkin out there. But was Povetkin was only stunned by Joshua, so that was one of his weakest performances too. I guess he had some kind of issues back then. I don't know. So anyway, Povetkin winning again, that would be a little, it's not impossible, of course, but I think it wouldn't be too realistic to expect, him pulling off a victory like that. So as I said, he was down twice the round before, and even though before that he looked kind of decent, he how do you say that, he forced the fight in the first 3 rounds, but wasn't that successful with landing anything until the fifth round. So you might say the only really good punch he landed was the one that he knocked White out with. So yeah. So this time White will be, trying to work with behind his jab and set Povetkin up for a really, the big punch or punches, and yeah, he will be looking to get him out of it because he's very strong. Of course, Povetkin is very strong too, but he's no longer in his prime, and that stuff. His footwork, I maybe was never one of the best either with Povetkin. So his strengths were always definitely the IQ, the boxing IQ, the physical, strength, power, and the punching power. So he was never a really fast guy, never too fast fighter, or well, you know, hardly any heavy has been so fast in the last 20 years. But anyway, and White is definitely not a very fast fighter, but still he's still in his prime. And, as I said, he's been training. But one thing that White's stablemate Alan Babic said was very interesting to me, and that is that when they sparred, earlier, that White was very tired. He was so tired that Allen said that he really kind of beat him up. That Allen was able Babic to beat White up in their sparrings because he was doing this CrossFit, nonsense, and Allen didn't want to do that, of course. um, so anyway, maybe the reason why he was taken out like that last time was simply that he got a little too tired. I mean, yeah, that he wasn't completely 100% alert, and didn't react as fast as he normally would have, perhaps. Well, I don't know. That remains to be seen, of course. So anyway, my prognosis is that this time White wins. It will be, I guess, I don't know, by a stoppage in the seventh or eighth round, something like that. Maybe, most likely, or it can go the distance also. Why not? Yeah, sure. I mean, it's not like White is some kind of super effective knockout artist. I mean, he has gone the distance against guys like Rivas, for instance, and yeah, so a couple of others that he could have, knocked out, perhaps. All right, so I think this will be, of course, Povetkin's last fight, but he'll get another payday, rather big one. So that should, do it for him. So yeah. Anyway, that was all I had to say about it, and I wish you a pleasant week and weekend. And until the next time, bye bye.